Ladies and gentlemen, there's something powerful about a woman who has walked through the fire, emerged from the depths, and still stands tall. There's something magnetic, unbreakable, unshakable about her presence. She's more than a survivor, she's a testament to strength itself. And right now, if you're feeling the weight of life, if you're facing struggles that feel impossible to bear, this message is for you. Because it's those very hardships that can transform you. It's those scars that turn into stories of resilience. Resilience is a force that reveals itself in life's toughest moments. It's not something you see when everything is easy and calm. It shows up when you're tested, pushed to your limits, and forced to confront the parts of yourself that might prefer to give up or back down. Think about it. Anyone can stand strong when the path is clear and the winds are calm. But real resilience, the kind that transforms you into a stronger, wiser, unbreakable version of yourself, is built in those storms, in those times when you face challenges that seem impossible to bear. It's forged when life hands you more than you feel ready to handle, yet you keep moving forward. In every hardship, there's a choice. Life will give you moments where you feel small, defeated, maybe even unworthy. And in those moments, it can feel as though the world is trying to wear you down, as if every obstacle is stacked against you. But resilience is about making the decision to stand up even when you're knocked down. It's about choosing not to let circumstances define you, but instead to define yourself by how you respond to those circumstances. Resilience is a decision, one that has to be made again and again, every single day that you're faced with difficulty. What we often don't realize is that resilience isn't some rare quality that only a select few possess. It's a potential that exists within every one of us, waiting to be called upon. Every time you face a hardship, you're given an opportunity to grow. And in that growth, resilience is born. It's not about ignoring pain or pretending challenges don't hurt. It's about acknowledging that, yes, life can be hard, but also that you have within you the strength to get through it. Resilience is not the absence of fear, doubt, or struggle. Real resilience includes those things. It means feeling the weight of the challenges before you, recognizing the uncertainty, and still choosing to press forward. When we embrace resilience, we're saying to ourselves, I don't know exactly how I'll get through this, but I trust that I will. This trust in yourself, this faith in your own strength, is what carries you through those dark nights and difficult days. It's what allows you to face each new challenge with a sense of calm, knowing that no matter what, you will survive. And more than that, you'll emerge stronger on the other side. Life isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about facing it with courage. Resilience doesn't shield you from pain. It simply makes you capable of withstanding it, learning from it, and even growing because of it. And this growth is what strengthens you bit by bit, piece by piece. Think of resilience like a muscle, one that grows stronger with every use. When you exercise it, it expands. And each time you face hardship, each time you encounter an obstacle and choose to overcome it, you're building that resilience muscle, preparing yourself for whatever life may throw your way. People believe that resilience is about toughening up or pretending not to feel. But true resilience isn't about denial. It's not about numbing yourself or ignoring the reality of what you're facing. In fact, resilience is about embracing the full experience, acknowledging the pain, the doubt, the uncertainty, and still moving forward. It's about looking those challenges in the eye and refusing to let them define you. Because in the end, resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about becoming someone who, even when broken, can put the pieces back together stronger and more complete than before. You don't become resilient by avoiding hardships or running from the things that scare you. No, real resilience is born when you face those things head on. When you say to yourself, I am stronger than this. I am capable of handling whatever life brings my way. And as you make that choice again and again, you start to see that resilience isn't just something you have. It's something you are. It becomes part of your identity, woven into the fabric of who you are. Every woman who's walked through fire, who's faced the darkest parts of herself and still found a way to rise, knows this truth. She knows that resilience is not about never feeling weak, it's about finding strength in that weakness. It's about discovering time and time again that even when things feel impossible, there's a part of you that refuses to give up. There's a part of you that believes you're capable of getting through whatever lies ahead. Resilience is about transforming adversity into fuel. Instead of letting hardship drain you, you let it fill you with determination. Instead of letting obstacles become excuses, you let them become stepping stones. Resilience is about saying, I will not be defined by what has happened to me. I will be defined by what I choose to do with it. And every time you make that choice, every time you face life's challenges with courage, every time you decide to keep going, no matter what, you're not just surviving, you're becoming. You're becoming a woman who understands that life's storms are not here to break you, but to build you. And that right there is the true power of resilience. Transformation through pain is a journey, a process that most of us don't willingly sign up for, but one that leaves a lasting impact on our lives. When you're in the thick of it, when life throws you challenge after challenge, it's hard to see anything other than the hurt, the struggle, or the sense of loss. Pain has a way of blinding us, making the world feel small and the path forward seem dark. But as counterintuitive as it sounds, pain has within it a unique and often hidden gift, the potential to reshape and transform us, to mold us into stronger, wiser versions of ourselves. The reality is, no one likes pain. It's uncomfortable. It's humbling, and at times it can even feel like it's stripping away parts of who we are. But there's a side to pain that we often overlook in our rush to escape it. Pain is like a mirror, forcing us to see parts of ourselves that we might otherwise ignore. It brings to the surface what lies within us, our fears, our insecurities, our vulnerabilities. And while this can be uncomfortable, it's also an opportunity for growth. Because when we're forced to confront these parts of ourselves, we also have the chance to heal them, to make peace with them, and to integrate them into a stronger, more resilient sense of self. Transformation through pain is not about pretending that everything is fine or trying to stay positive in a way that denies reality. It's about looking at pain honestly and asking, what is this here to teach me? This doesn't mean that every hardship has a clear answer or that every moment of suffering makes sense. But it does mean that within each painful experience lies the potential for insight and growth. Pain asks us to examine ourselves closely to get to know who we are at our core. It strips away the superficial, leaving us with the raw truth of who we are and what we're made of. Pain also has a way of building empathy and compassion. When we've experienced hardship, we gain a deeper understanding of what others go through. We become more compassionate, more patient, more understanding. We start to see that everyone carries their own burdens, their own hidden battles. And in this way, pain doesn't just transform us as individuals, it connects us to others, building a shared humanity that goes beyond words. It helps us see that we're not alone in our struggles and that our pain, in a strange way, unites us. Transformation through pain is also about resilience. Every time you go through something hard, you build a bit more strength, a bit more capacity to handle life's challenges. It's like lifting weights. Each time you lift something heavy, your muscles grow stronger. In the same way, each time you face a painful situation and come through the other side, you're building an inner strength that will serve you in future challenges. You're learning that no matter how hard things get, you have the ability to survive. And not just survive, but to emerge with a greater sense of who you are. Another powerful aspect of transformation through pain is that it forces us to reevaluate our priorities. Often we get caught up in the busyness of life, in the pursuit of goals that might not even align with our true values. But pain has a way of cutting through all that noise. It forces us to ask ourselves what truly matters. When you're faced with loss or hardship, you start to see clearly what you can and can't live without. Pain has a way of grounding us, reminding us of what's essential. It's in these moments that we find our true priorities, our true purpose. Growth through pain is not an overnight process. It's gradual, slow, and sometimes it feels like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. There are days when the pain feels overwhelming, when it feels like you'll never get through it. But transformation isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about those small, almost invisible steps that you take each day toward healing. Over time, these steps add up, and one day you look back and realize that the pain no longer defines you. Instead, it's become a part of your story, a part of the strength that you carry with you. Pain is a teacher. It teaches us resilience, empathy, self-awareness, and even gratitude. When you face hardship, you begin to appreciate the little things, the moments of peace, the small victories. Pain gives you a perspective that you might never have had otherwise. It makes you appreciate life in a new way, to find joy in places you might have overlooked before. In this way, pain doesn't just take from us, it also gives. The transformation that pain brings is deep and lasting. It's not about becoming someone else, it's about becoming more of who you truly are. It's about shedding the layers of pretense, the masks we wear, and stepping into our authentic selves. Through pain, we discover strengths we didn't know we had. We find courage that we didn't know we possessed. And we learn that even in our darkest moments, there is light within us. Transformation through pain is about embracing the process, however long it takes. It's about trusting that no matter how hard things get, there's something to be gained on the other side. It's not about denying the reality of suffering, it's about finding meaning within it. And as difficult as that might be, it's this meaning that ultimately transforms us, leaving us stronger, wiser, and more fully alive. Strength isn't just about physical power or brute force, it's about the mental, emotional, and spiritual resilience we build as we navigate life's toughest challenges. True strength emerges from a place deep within, often hidden and undiscovered until we're tested by hardship, loss, or profound struggle. There's a depth of power inside each of us that remains dormant until life forces us to tap into it. It's in those moments when we feel like we're at our breaking point, when we're pushed to our limits, that we start to understand what real strength is and, more importantly, what it's not. Strength doesn't mean you don't feel pain or that you don't experience moments of doubt, fear, or sadness. Strength means acknowledging those feelings and choosing to keep going despite them. It's the ability to face each day even when you don't feel like it, to show up for yourself and those who rely on you, even when life feels overwhelming. Real strength isn't about never falling down. It's about rising every single time you do. It's about finding a reason to keep moving forward, no matter how small, and holding on to that reason when everything else feels uncertain. True strength is built from within. It's not about the approval of others or about proving anything to anyone. It's about building a relationship with yourself, trusting that you have what it takes to handle whatever comes your way. Society often celebrates strength as toughness, as a kind of unbreakable, unshakable front. But real strength is often quiet and unseen. It's in the small, everyday acts of resilience that no one applauds, the decisions to keep going when no one is watching. Strength is built when you're alone with your struggles, facing yourself in the mirror, choosing to keep going simply because you know there's no other way forward. When we talk about building inner strength, we're talking about cultivating a mindset that's not easily swayed by life's ups and downs. This kind of strength comes from self-belief, from knowing who you are at your core and being rooted in that identity. It's about being able to face hardship without losing yourself, without letting the world or circumstances shake the foundation of who you are. It's a kind of strength that grows over time through each challenge you face, each setback you overcome. It's the strength that allows you to remain grounded, even when everything around you is uncertain. Developing true strength is also about self-compassion. This might seem counterintuitive, but real strength is not just about being hard on yourself or pushing yourself to the limit. It's also about giving yourself grace, understanding that you're human, that you have limits, and that it's okay to ask for help or take a break when you need it. Strength doesn't mean ignoring your needs or pushing yourself until you're completely drained. It means respecting yourself enough to care for your own well-being, to know when to rest and when to push forward. Another key element of true strength is adaptability. Life rarely goes as planned. There are unexpected twists, turns, and detours. Being strong doesn't mean resisting change or holding on to what no longer serves you. True strength is about being able to adapt to life's changes, to adjust your plans when necessary, and to move forward with courage and resilience. It's about being flexible enough to change course when the situation demands it and trusting yourself to handle whatever the new path brings. This adaptability is a crucial part of inner strength because it allows you to stay centered even when life throws curveballs. Real strength also requires vulnerability. It takes courage to be open, to let others see you as you are without pretense. Vulnerability is often mistaken for weakness, but in reality, it's one of the greatest signs of strength. It's easy to put up walls and pretend everything is fine. It's much harder to show up as your true self with all your imperfections and still stand tall. Vulnerability is about being honest with yourself and others, about acknowledging your struggles without shame. It's about understanding that being strong doesn't mean being invincible, it means being real, being human. Building strength is a journey, not a destination. It's something you work on every day through every challenge, setback, and triumph. Each experience adds another layer to your inner fortitude, another piece to the foundation of who you are. Over time, these layers build up, creating a strength that's unshakable, grounded in self-knowledge and self-acceptance. You start to see that no matter what life throws at you, you have the tools and the resilience to handle it. And in that knowledge is a sense of peace, a quiet confidence that you can rely on yourself no matter what. True strength is about alignment. It's about being in tune with your values, your purpose, and your truth. When you're aligned with who you really are, when you know what you stand for, you become unbreakable in a different sense. Life's challenges may shake you, but they won't shatter you. This kind of inner strength is steady and unwavering, built on the foundation of authenticity and self-awareness. You don't need to prove anything to anyone because your strength comes from within, from knowing that you are enough, just as you are. The journey to true strength is not always easy, and it's certainly not glamorous. It's filled with quiet victories, personal growth, and moments of profound self-discovery. But with each step, each challenge, you grow a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger, a little bit wiser. You begin to understand that strength is not about how much you can endure, it's about who you become through that endurance. It's about standing firm in the face of adversity, not because you don't feel fear, but because you know you have the courage to face it. And in that courage and that resilience lies the true essence of strength. When life brings pain, it often feels like we're being broken, like pieces of who we are being stripped away, leaving us feeling raw and vulnerable. It's natural to resist this feeling, to want to push it away and return to a place of comfort. But there's an undeniable truth about pain. It can be a powerful tool for self-discovery. Pain has a unique ability to pull back the layers we put up to protect ourselves, exposing the core of who we are. And in this exposure, we find opportunities to understand ourselves in ways that comfort and ease could never reveal. Pain breaks us open. And while this sounds uncomfortable, it's in that brokenness that we find the space to look inward, to examine what's really there beneath the surface. When everything seems to be falling apart, we're given a rare chance to understand ourselves at a deeper level. Pain forces us to face our fears, our insecurities, and the aspects of ourselves we might have been ignoring. It's in these moments that we come to see what we truly value, what we're really made of, and what matters most to us. It's uncomfortable, but it's also profoundly enlightening. Self-discovery through pain isn't just about identifying what hurts or what's broken. It's about understanding the why behind it. Why does a particular situation or person affect us so deeply? Why does this pain linger? Often these questions lead us to hidden parts of ourselves, unresolved issues, limiting beliefs, or past experiences that we may not have dealt with fully. Pain forces us to confront these issues, giving us the opportunity to address them and ultimately to heal from them. In this way, pain is not merely something to be endured, but something that can guide us toward deeper healing. Pain also reveals our strength. It's easy to feel strong when everything is going well, but it's in the face of adversity that we discover our true resilience. When we go through difficult times, we're often surprised at how much we can handle, at how we can keep going even when we feel like we have nothing left to give. Pain teaches us that we're stronger than we thought, that we can survive challenges we once thought impossible. In this way, pain doesn't just break us, it also builds us, shaping us into stronger, more resilient individuals. Another powerful aspect of pain as a tool for self-discovery is that it pushes us to redefine our identity. Many times we define ourselves by external factors, our careers, relationships, or social status. But when these are shaken or taken away, we're left with the question, who am I without these things? Pain strips away these superficial layers, forcing us to look at who we are at our core, beyond our titles, roles, or accomplishments. This process of redefining ourselves can be uncomfortable, but it's also incredibly freeing. It allows us to build an identity rooted in authenticity, in who we truly are, not in what we do or what we have. Pain also teaches us about our boundaries and limits. It helps us understand what we can and cannot tolerate, what we're willing to fight for, and what we're willing to fight for, and what we're willing to let go of. When we experience pain, we're often forced to reevaluate our relationships, our goals, and even our beliefs. We start to see what's worth our energy and what isn't. This clarity is a powerful form of self-discovery, as it allows us to live in alignment with our true values and priorities. Pain helps us set boundaries that protect our well-being and honor our self-worth. Through pain, we also learn about the importance of self-compassion. In times of hardship, it's easy to fall into self-blame, to think that we should have done something differently or that we should be stronger. But pain teaches us that we're human, that it's okay to struggle, and that we're deserving of compassion and kindness from ourselves. Self-compassion is an essential part of self-discovery, as it allows us to accept ourselves as we are with all our imperfections. It's in these moments of self-compassion that we start to understand that we don't need to be perfect to be worthy, that our value doesn't depend on how much we can endure or how well we can hide our pain. In the process of using pain as a tool for self-discovery, we also learn about our needs. Pain makes it clear what nourishes us and what drains us, what helps us heal and what hinders us. It's through pain that we come to understand our need for support, for rest, and for self-care. These are not weaknesses, but essential aspects of being human. Pain reminds us that we don't have to go through life alone, that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. In discovering our needs, we become better equipped to take care of ourselves, to nurture our well-being, and to build a life that supports us. Pain teaches us about gratitude as well. When we go through difficult times, we often start to appreciate the small, simple moments of peace and happiness that we might have taken for granted before. Pain has a way of putting things into perspective, helping us see what truly matters. It reminds us that life is fleeting, that moments of joy and love are precious, and that even in the midst of hardship, there is beauty to be found. This newfound gratitude enriches our lives, making us more present, more mindful, and more appreciative of the good times. Pain as a tool for self-discovery is about transformation. It's about taking something that feels negative and finding the lessons, the growth, and the strength within it. It's about using our struggles to become more self-aware, more compassionate, and more aligned with our true selves. Pain doesn't define us, but it does refine us, helping us become more resilient, more grounded, and more connected to who we are. Through this journey, we discover a version of ourselves that's deeper, wiser, and more authentic, a self that's been shaped by experience and strengthened by every challenge faced. And while we may never wish for pain, we can choose to honor the growth and self-discovery it brings, knowing that each struggle is a stepping stone on the path to becoming our truest selves. When we talk about resilience, it's easy to think of it as something extraordinary, something that only certain people possess. But resilience is not a trait you're born with. It's a skill that you cultivate over time, often through hardship and adversity. Think of resilience as a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Each time you're faced with a challenge, every time life knocks you down and you find a way to get back up, you're building resilience. It's not about avoiding struggles or pretending that everything is okay. It's about learning to adapt, grow, and continue moving forward, even when things are tough. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks. It's what allows you to keep going after a failure, to believe in yourself after a disappointment, and to find the strength to rise even after you've been hurt. Life has a way of testing us, of pushing us to our limits. But it's in those moments when we feel like we can't go on that we tap into our inner strength and resilience. This ability to persevere, to keep striving in the face of obstacles, is one of the most powerful skills we can develop. And the best part? Resilience is something we can all build no matter where we are or what we're going through. Building resilience doesn't mean ignoring pain or acting like everything is fine. Quite the opposite, it involves facing difficulties head-on, allowing ourselves to feel the weight of our experiences and still choosing to push forward. It's about embracing the struggle, acknowledging the pain, and trusting that with time we will emerge stronger on the other side. Resilience is about growth, about learning from each experience and using it to build a more solid foundation within ourselves. With every setback, every hardship, we gain wisdom, we gain strength, and we gain insight into who we truly are. One of the first steps in building resilience is to shift our perspective on challenges. When we view difficulties as insurmountable obstacles, they can feel overwhelming. But when we start to see challenges as opportunities for growth, as experiences that can teach us something valuable, we begin to unlock the power of resilience. It's about reframing our mindset, seeing adversity not as something to fear, but as something to learn from. Each challenge holds a lesson, and when we approach it with an open mind, we can find meaning and purpose even in the most difficult situations. Resilience also requires us to develop a sense of self-belief. This doesn't mean we have to be confident all the time. It simply means believing that no matter what comes our way, we have the inner resources to handle it. Building this belief in ourselves is essential, as it gives us the courage to face our fears and the strength to keep going when times are tough. Resilience grows each time we choose to trust ourselves, each time we decide that we are capable of overcoming whatever challenges lie ahead. It's about nurturing a quiet confidence, a deep-seated belief that we are stronger than we might think. Another important aspect of resilience is learning to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and things often don't go as planned. Resilience is the ability to adjust to new circumstances, to change course when needed, and to find a way to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. Adaptability is a crucial part of resilience because it allows us to stay flexible and open to new possibilities. It means letting go of rigid expectations and being willing to embrace change. When we're adaptable, we're better able to handle life's twists and turns, and we're more resilient in the face of uncertainty. Resilience is also deeply connected to our support systems. While it's essential to be self-reliant, we must also recognize the power of community, of surrounding ourselves with people who lift us up and provide encouragement during hard times. No one is meant to go through life alone, and resilience is often a collective effort. By building strong relationships with others, we create a network of support that we can lean on when we're feeling down. These connections remind us that we're not alone, that there are people who believe in us, and that we have a community of support to draw strength from when we need it most. Another key element of resilience is self-compassion. Resilience doesn't mean being hard on ourselves or ignoring our needs. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It requires us to be kind to ourselves, to recognize our limits, and to give ourselves permission to rest when necessary. Building resilience is about balancing strength with gentleness, pushing ourselves to keep going while also respecting our own boundaries. Self-compassion reminds us that it's okay to feel hurt, that it's okay to take a break, and that resilience isn't about never faltering, it's about finding the courage to rise again, over and over. Resilience is about persistence. It's about choosing to keep going day after day, even when the path is difficult. Resilience is a commitment to yourself, a promise that no matter how many times you fall, you will always find a way to get back up. This persistence builds strength over time, shaping you into someone who is capable of facing whatever life throws your way. It's not always easy, and there will be moments when you feel like giving up. But each time you choose to keep going, you're strengthening your resilience, adding another layer to your inner fortitude. Resilience isn't something you build in a single moment, it's something you cultivate over time, through each experience, each challenge, and each setback. It's a journey of self-discovery, a path that teaches you more about who you are and what you're capable of. With each hardship, with each moment of struggle, you're adding to your resilience, building a foundation of strength that will carry you through whatever lies ahead. And as you continue on this journey, you'll find that resilience becomes not just a skill, but a way of life, a way of approaching the world with courage, hope, and unwavering determination. A woman who finds strength through hardship doesn't just overcome challenges, she transforms them into wisdom, shaping a resilience and confidence that can only come from experience. The challenges she's faced become part of her story, yet they don't define her, they empower her. Every trial becomes a stepping stone, every obstacle a lesson, and with each struggle she faces, she discovers her own inner power. Hardship has a way of uncovering strength we didn't know we had, revealing our capacity to endure, adapt, and rise above. It's not easy, but those experiences shape us, building a well of strength that becomes a core part of who we are. This transformation into strength is rarely immediate. It's a process, often painful, that requires us to dig deep, to face difficult emotions and doubts. Yet, with time, those hardships mold us into individuals with a clearer sense of who we are and what we're capable of. When we face our struggles head on, without trying to escape them or numb them, we gain insight into our true character. We learn not only how to survive difficult times, but how to thrive beyond them. Every hardship teaches us something about ourselves and strengthens our sense of self-worth, showing us that we are capable of more than we ever imagined. When a woman grows through her struggles, she also learns to carry herself differently. She moves with a sense of purpose, a quiet confidence that doesn't need validation. She understands that her strength isn't defined by the absence of fear or pain, but by her ability to confront them. This sense of inner power doesn't need to be loud or boastful, it's simply a part of her. Others might notice the change, but they may not fully understand what she has gone through to achieve it. Her strength is her own, forged in the fires of hardship, and it becomes a part of her identity, shaping the way she interacts with the world. As she grows stronger, she also learns to set boundaries to protect her peace and well-being. Hardship teaches us that not everyone and everything deserves our time, energy, or attention. When you've been through tough times, you come to understand the value of protecting your heart and mind. You learn to recognize toxic situations in people, and you gain the courage to walk away from anything that doesn't serve you or uplift you. This self-protection isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you fought hard to find your peace, you're less likely to let anyone or anything disturb it. One of the most powerful aspects of growing stronger through hardship is the ability to inspire others. When a woman who has been through difficulty speaks or acts, there is an authenticity to her words and actions that others can feel. People are drawn to her strength, not because she's perfect, but because she's real. She has been through struggles, and she doesn't hide that. Her resilience becomes a beacon for others who may be going through similar struggles. She shows them that it's possible to come out the other side stronger. That hardship doesn't have to break them, but can, in fact, build them. Strength gained from hardship also brings a new level of empathy. Having faced her own battles, she understands what it feels like to be at the bottom, to feel lost or defeated. This empathy allows her to connect with others on a deeper level, to be a source of support and comfort for those who are struggling. She can offer advice not from theory, but from experience, from having walked a similar path. Her strength doesn't make her distant or cold. Instead, it allows her to open up to others, showing them compassion and understanding that only comes from having been there herself. Hardship also brings clarity. When you've been tested, you gain a better understanding of your values, your goals, and your dreams. You start to realize what truly matters to you and you let go of what doesn't. This clarity helps guide your decisions, making you more intentional about the choices you make. You start to live more purposefully with a sense of direction that may not have been there before. Hardship strips away the superficial, leaving only what's real and meaningful. This newfound clarity becomes a foundation for a life that aligns with your true self, a life that feels fulfilling and authentic. Hardship teaches us patience. When we go through tough times, we often want things to change immediately, to get better overnight. But hardship rarely works on our timeline. It teaches us to take things one day at a time, to focus on small steps forward rather than immediate results. This patience builds perseverance, showing us that even slow progress is still progress. We learn that healing, growth, and transformation take time, and we come to appreciate the journey itself, not just the destination. Patience becomes a part of our strength, allowing us to face challenges with a calm resolve rather than frustration or despair. Growing stronger through hardship is ultimately about becoming who we are meant to be. The difficulties we face shape us, yes, but they also reveal us. They strip away the fears, the doubts, and the limitations we may have imposed on ourselves, showing us our true strength. Every experience, every struggle, every victory adds to our resilience, creating a foundation of strength that no one can take away. And while the journey is not always easy, it is always worthwhile. Through hardship, we don't just survive, we grow, we learn, and we emerge as stronger, wiser, and more resilient versions of ourselves. Hardship doesn't define us, it refines us. It brings out qualities we may not have known we had, turning us into individuals with a deep sense of self-worth and a resilience that cannot be easily shaken. This strength becomes our anchor, grounding us in the knowledge that no matter what life throws our way, we can handle it. And as we continue to face challenges, we continue to grow, adding to the foundation of strength within us. Hardship may test us, but it also transforms us, showing us that we are capable of more than we ever imagined, and that our strength is and always will be enough. As we reach the end of this journey through resilience, strength, and transformation, remember that every challenge you've faced, every hardship you've endured, has been a part of building the woman you are becoming. The strength that lies within you is not something that appears overnight. It's earned, tested, and refined through life's trials. Every setback, every difficult moment has been preparing you to rise, to hold your head high, and to stand firm in your own power. The road hasn't always been easy, and it won't always be smooth from here. But each time you confront your struggles, you add another layer to your resilience. You gain wisdom, clarity, and a deeper understanding of your worth. Life has shown you that you can be knocked down and still rise. It's shown you that you can go through the fire and come out stronger, more focused, and more determined than ever. Take these lessons forward. Embrace the strength you've uncovered. Carry it with grace and let it guide you. Trust that no matter what comes your way, you have everything within you to handle it. Let your story inspire others. Let your resilience be a light in the darkness for someone else. And let your strength be your foundation as you continue to build a life that truly reflects the powerful woman you are. You are not defined by your hardships, you are defined by how you rise from them. Stand firm, stand tall, and never doubt the strength you possess. This journey has made you unstoppable.